More concern tonight over the winter shelter planned for 21st and Grove. The city of Wichita set to vote on funding for the location tomorrow. It would be open 24/7 and could sleep 250 people. KSN's Asia Simone Smith spoke with members of the Wichita African American Council of Elders who met today to address frustrations.
People at today's conference said this is not a good place for the emergency shelter, and they're planning to contact a lawyer to put a temporary restraining order on the project. They say this neighborhood already has a variety of problems that aren't being addressed by the city.
That is not an appropriate place for adult men and women.
Voices echoing around the room at the Wichita African American Council of Elders conference.
We're not pleased with the way they're doing things in this process and this issue.
Many people planning to speak out at Tuesday's city council meeting to oppose the shelter.
The close proximity of children, the close proximity of an elementary school, and you're also in a food desert, and you're also on potential contaminated water source for the city, right there.
24/7, nonstop routes of Ubers, buses, of bringing all of these people with their mental instabilities and or just despair into the community. Like, what does that do for the vibe?
We have a shortage of police officers. The HOT team will also be involved, but if they are downtown, it's the how fast would they be able to get there? I just think there are so many unanswered questions.
City Council member Brandon Johnson says after a different location downtown fell through at the last minute, the city didn't have any other options.
A lot of people think you can just put people in an empty building, and that's not the case. There's so much infrastructure needs for an emergency shelter, and this place had the least amount of work necessary to make it that.
Some concerned with the lack of notice, finding out after the location was announced.
It's just a matter of respect. Community respect, and I don't feel the community was given that respect.
We started that engagement. We intend to be fully engaged with the community going forward, but it just came to be last minute.
Again, people say this is not a good spot for the emergency shelter, and we will be following tomorrow's city council meeting when the council will decide on spending the $685,000 to run this shelter through March. Here for you in East Wichita, Asia Simone Smith, KSN News 3.
Wichita City Council is voting Tuesday on the funds for a new winter shelter. That winter shelter Asia has been talking about, they are asking for over $685,000 from ARPA money to help humankind run that facility. If approved, the proposed contract agreement is from November 7th until March 31st of 2024.